And welcome to the podcast, Appetite for Distortion. It is Brando, episode 233. Been doing this podcast for a while. And for those of you who've been following me for a while, and this just explains it. Episode 40, and I very rarely do I remember who I interviewed when, just because I don't know. I don't have a lot of brain cells. It has nothing to do with importance, but it was a very memorable episode and just conversation. So I hope you're tuning in on Zoom, first of all, before I start introducing people. So if you want to go to our YouTube channel, I can't believe I'm one of those people that says to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Never thought I would be that person, but that's the way it is. People are finding our episodes on YouTube. Even like if it's not Zoom, our Stephen Piercy episode is doing pretty well on YouTube. But if you're not subscribing, I got to introduce it a certain way because I don't know. This is another special episode number that I'm never going to forget, 233. So from left to right, which I think is appropriate. I'm staring at all in one room, and they're all hanging out together. It's allowed. You're allowed to breathe in family members' essence. You know, when you're in a band, you're like a family member. It's the same air. So Niko Tsangaris, first of all, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Brando. It's been like 4 years. Yeah.
Has it been 4 years or 3 years? Because right next to you, and this is how I'm going to go, London Hudson. Thank you for coming on, because if I'm not mistaken, your first interview was 3 years ago when you were 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I knew this was going to happen. I can't help it. I'm not like I'm that much older. I'm 37, so I went from like my early 30s to my late 30s when this transpired. But you guys, it's like you've become men. I'm an older brother. I can't help it. I'm the oldest of 4 boys, so if I act like an older brother at times, forgive me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And now, sorry. Go ahead. So I mean, this has just been this is really cool to see both kind of, we follow each other on Instagram, and it's nice to see you kind of, grow up a little bit before our eyes. And now with this new band, Suspect 208, which we're gonna meet right now. Just thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Brando.
Yeah. Thank you, Brando.
Okay, I'm glad, because I thought I was going to introduce the step stool for a second.
I am right here. I'm back. I just had it was a little difficulties, technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. Oh, all good. Then forgive me. I'm the asshole for bringing it up.
No.
Okay.
I get your look right. You know?
It's yeah. What he said.
Because it's like, again, because last time I spoke to London and Niko was 3 years ago. I was in a radio studio, and which I happened to be just by happenstance yesterday, but I'm been in it maybe 3 or 4 times since the pandemic, just on you need to be there basis for the position. But that's where I was when I interviewed London and Niko, and they were on a cell phone, and that was cool. Chris, who Niko, your dad, who was just on before, and I got to thank him just for. You'll laugh at this. I don't even know if you know about this. I said, Niko setting up the interview with me. Is that cool? He's like, yeah, he's 18. He's an adult. He can handle it.
Oh, that's funny.
I know. That is funny.
So I'm looking forward to just catching up with you guys, especially in the context of this band. So next to us, I'm going to call you, I guess, just this once, because we're going to Roman. That's what we're going to call you, right?
Yeah, that's how it is now, kind of.
Sure.
Like I even introduce myself as Noah to like new people a lot of times. It's like
I get it.
By that, it's like not even just like music wise, but it's just like Roman is also like I kind of have like some like I feel like there's like 2 people in me sometimes.
Okay.
Physically.
Like no, but like in my head, it's like there's like 2. It's like 2 completely different sides, and it's like bipolar type shit. But
Okay.
that's how kind of it all started. So
Okay. No, I get you. I totally get that. So I'm gonna bounce off that. I'm gonna absorb that. And don't worry, Tye, we're gonna get to you. It's kind of like, this is how, I don't know. A lot of radio yes, it's a podcast, but I come off from like old school radio where, I don't want to just introduce everybody when everyone's just talking over each other. So I want everyone to meet Suspect 208 and who we're talking to. So I'm just really excited about that instead of just like a bunch of, fart jokes or whatever comes up or something like that. So Noah Weiland, it's really nice to meet you, but I'll say that first of all. And I relate so much to what you just said, Roman, just so, because people who are just meeting you, kind of how I introduce myself as Brandon, first of all, when I meet people. Brandon Weisler. It's not hard to find me on the internet. But I go by Brando. Sounds cooler, I guess, or I wanted that to be my radio persona because I'm a very shy person, believe it or not. But Brando is a different persona. So
that's literally the same thing as I. That's the same thing I have. It's like two completely different people, like in one body. It's a crazy. You know what I mean? Like one part of you is so shy. And like so like not, I guess, not timid, but like kind of like, I guess you could say that in a way. And so like more fragile. The other side is not.
I get it. I'm again traditional radio. I like being behind the mic, but this is in today's world. If I want people to, like my show and meet Suspect 208, this is just what the kids are doing, and so it's fine. So I get you, and this relates also. If I just go from Brandon to Brando, whatever, but I'm not as cool to go to Roman. I'm not as cool. I always said not to go to Slash. I can't do that. I can't go to Axel. I can't go to Bono or Donna. I just all right, just chop off the end. That's fine enough. And speaking of cool names, though, I know I made you wait long enough, Tye. Is that Tye Trujillo? Am I pronouncing that right, by the way?
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, cool. Because I did not do well in Spanish in high school. Yeah. It's really, so is Tye, what is that short for, like Tyson or like Tyrannosaurus? Is that Tye for anything?
I wish it was short for something else, but unfortunately it's just Tye. I wish it was short for like Tyler or something cool like that, but
no, I like it. I like it.
Tyrannosaurus could be like such a sick stage.
It's cool.
That's cool. So we got Niko, London, Roman, and Tye. I'm looking at them right now, and I mean, this could be the set of a music video. To be honest with you, where you're at, lots of guitars in the wall, cymbals.
A good fisheye lens shot with like some smoke and shit. Like
that would be cool.
Yeah.
That actually
Cool.
All right, so just know, you don't have to give me 5% of that idea. Just acknowledge me in the in your book.
Expect your keys in the mail.
I love it.
Sense.
So I'm looking at Niko, like I said, London, Roman, and Tye, Suspect 208, and I'm really excited to talk to you. I think the world is excited to meet you. I guess first, before you answer this question a million times in your career, Suspect 208, who is that? What is that? Like, what is Suspect 208? Where'd that come from?
It's our old high school PE teacher's name.
Was Suspect 208?
That's Leonard Skinner.
God. Well played. I like that.
That's like the most common question.
Sure.
208 was the name of my studio, like the room number, and that's kind of where like me and Noah started making music together. And that was just like our sanctuary. It was where we could spend all hours of the day
and night.
Do whatever, make music, sleep,
dude. Activities.
Part cheesy.
So
gotcha. Pokemon cards.
It's a little bit of like our secret location.
Okay.
But I guess for me it was like the shit that goes down there. It's from the outside. It's suspicious.
Yeah, everyone's suspicious. So what's that?
You don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Okay, I like that. I like the meaning behind that. Oh, very cool. So Suspect 208, you dropped what? Am I wrong in assuming is an ironic title? Long awaited. Just out of nowhere, this band just drops a. It wasn't long awaited. It would have been if there were rumors. To be honest with you, as someone who like me who has a Guns N' Roses themed podcast, I've heard rumors. Obviously, I've known Niko in London for a while. You guys playing music for a while. Tye, I know you're in the news when you play with Korn. People wanting to see what Roman is going to do, but all of a sudden, bam, Suspect 2A comes out with a brand new song. How did that? When did this band, I guess, come to be? I mean, have you all been friends for a while? I mean, we're going to go down that route of, I know how London and Niko became friends because the moms are friends, right? That's how that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. We explain that story all the time.
Yeah, because I remember actually. I forget a lot of things as I
So
mentioned,
for
but I do.
people that don't know me in detail, I've known Niko since I was a child. His mother used to work with my mom, and we would hang out.
Barbecues, and
Barbecues,
kids'
chill.
birthday parties when they're like 4 or 5 years old. And someone else who was at those birthday parties and was also like part of the whole family was Noah. So
Okay.
We've
Okay.
interchanged through
we've all
life,
met,
but
yeah.
we've never I've never like brought Noah and Niko or Tye together all at once. It's kind of just been our own little separate things.
Yeah.
So
Except
you,
for Tye. I've tried to work with him before, and he goes to us.
He left us. He left us on red.
We wanted him to play in classless, and
Yeah.
he ghosted.
Yeah, like 3 years ago. But,
interesting.
And he was like 13 at the time.
Yeah.
Couldn't get.
So that's something else to ask. Because Roman, you're 20, and Tye, are you 15? Is that
16.
16? Okay.
I'm the youngest guy here. I'm still the kid here, so
It's totally different for us because like me and Niko have played in bands when we're the babies. I've always been the youngest.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm
Me
18. Niko's 18. He just turned 20. So now you're the odd man out. But in all the other bands I've played in, there's been people like 8 years older than me.
You're a veteran at 18.
Yeah. And he has been a veteran since fucking like 6. So
Yeah,
Tye might be 16, but
He has more experience than any of us.
He's got the balls and the.
So
I don't know he has the balls. He's 16, but.
Tye, is this your first, like, what was your first band then? Since you're so young and, again, you're making headlines without even trying.
thank you.
So I guess because it's a big decision for you guys. It's like, your friends are jamming, but it's like, this is a band, this is a song. So, is this your first big band together? Or for yourself rather?
I guess like I had like a childhood band back like when I was
Childhood band at 16.
like,
Okay, sorry.
The Helmets, but then I formed into another band called Auto, which I'm still in, but
Okay.
like Suspect is also like Auto was kind of like my first like I guess like first band with a good amount of recognition, and then like blew up.
This takes on recognition and nothing that like any of us ever expected.
No.
Yeah, we didn't expect any of this.
Anything close to
all.
what happened, we did not expect any of this.
Okay.
We thought this
Interesting.
song would like peak at like
10K.
10K or something like that, and we didn't even know it was on YouTube too. We thought it would be like 10K on like SoundCloud or something like that, or like Spotify. I don't know.
I want to look that up. What is the last number on YouTube for you guys? It was like 500,000, right?
It's like
800,000
now.
Wow.
Almost at 1 million.
I mean, okay. As you're saying that, so because I'm glad you said that about this wasn't planned, because it's like you almost played like fantasy sports, like fantasy, like a draft. Honestly, like if you have your established players, I make a lot of sports musician analogies. So there's a lot of players already, established musicians, bands already out there in the field, but they're like, okay, who's the next? And I want to draft the best. Who's out there? What are big names? I would have put you guys together. So the fact that this wasn't some sort of someone's brainchild, I guess it just happened organically.
And this is just like, this isn't some like,
Because like first it was me and I was just making like rap and R&B just because it was like fun, and it's like that's honestly only what I listen to even still, like.
Okay, interesting.
And what was I gonna say? So I was making that, and then he was like, no. I was like curious to how I could do on rock, because when I was little, I could kind of like, I always was like into like My Chemical Romance and like Green Day and like Nirvana and stuff. Just you know what I mean? And like, and
Me too.
and what was I gonna say? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and make something like more like rock based. And then the first thing I did was one of the songs I put out was called That Summer, and people liked it, and it did pretty good. And because I had like only like 1,000 something followers or anything, so obviously I didn't expect it to be big or anything, but it actually did pretty good. So then I was like, well, like before that, a lot of people like listen to it before I put it out, and then he heard it and he was like, dude, we got to do something. So then we went to the studio one time, made a song together from scratch, and it was like fast and it just happened quick and it just was good. Then another time he sent me like he just started sending me guitar stuff. I started like adding stuff to it and making songs from it, and then released that. It did good. Then he was like, okay, let's see if like Niko would be down to like work with us. And he hit up Tye too. It was like, oh, you should work with like me and Noah because we're doing stuff. So we kind of wanted to just me and him collaborate with like a bunch of different people, and then it kind of just like formed together because like just three of us made a song first, and it was one of my songs, but they were like credited obviously on the song, and then that's when I came in the picture.
And that's interesting. I mean, that's cool. We're really learning about the formulation of it, which is what I wanted. But Roman, that's interesting that you I guess you prefer hip hop. Like, who are your some of your favorite artists? I guess that's because I'm not gonna lie. Ever since the '90s, I kind of like tapped out. Do you listen to Heavy D? You know, Heavy D and the Boys? No.
I honestly don't listen to like any like older like rap or art.
Okay.
Like I'm just gonna be honest. Like,
no, I know. I was kind of like people hear the Heavy D reference will laugh anyway. So
I guarantee you, most people would think like most of like the people that like our music, at least so far, would think I'm just like would be blown away by how trash they would think it is. But I like Chris Brown. I like The Weeknd, Tory Lanez, NBA YoungBoy, Young Thug, and just like it. But somehow it's like that because it's all like really. It's not like straight rap. It's like melodic or like singing rap. So it's like that's how kind of how like I started learning how to like make melodies, like hearing from that because it's really melodic. So that's why like a lot of my songs are like super super melodic because it comes from like hearing that because I don't really have much of a background for rock music. Like I don't have a big catalog that I ever really got into.
Then what comes with and with London we spoke about this, episode 40, as far as, the motivation to become a drummer, not wanting to be a guitarist, not wanting to be in that, that shadow, I guess. And Tye, you can comment on this if you want. But Roman, is there a pressure to, I guess, because again, you weren't thinking about singing rock. Did you not want to sing rock? Then all of a sudden, was there kind of like a hesitance to sing rock given your background as well?
I mean, I did when I was little. I wanted to, but then I stopped listening to all that stuff, and it's like I just starting from like 8th grade up until now, it's just been like strictly, well, not like strictly. I obviously have my moments where I listen to other genres, but like 75% of the music I listen to is just rap and R&B.
Okay.
You can kind of like hear it in like the way I like
melodic and lyrical. And that's funny. I think
lyrically too, but also the way I like kind of go fast while I'm like singing.
Kind of rap.
Yeah, it's kind of rap-ish in a way.
That's what's like unique about it. I mean, to me, it's what's cool about We Do, because like we're not just like a rock band. I mean, the song we're gonna put out, everything is just
Our next song is about to be a lot different. I mean, obviously not like rap or R&B. I'm just saying it's like we're gonna show like a good
different side.
Different side.
Sure.
I think that because it's like everyone kind of brings a different influence. Like Tye, the way he plays and what he's listened to, and his riffs are very like punk and metal, and and hard, and like Noah's melodies are very melodic and like pretty, and it's like it all kind of I'm a big fan of like classic rock as well as like new indie and alternative stuff. So that kind of all eclectically combines to become something that's kind of a weird mix of all of them.
It's just nothing that's like out there today right now. I mean, the shit that we're gonna come out with, I think it lacks what's out there, like lacks soul. You know, everyone's just trying to put out a number one hit and very overproduced. We're doing everything ourselves.
Yeah.
As of now, so we're not gonna stay like tied down.
Mm-hmm.
So is that where, and we spoke about this a little off air, Niko and London, because I always wanted to make sure, because it's, we talked about the numbers and just how overwhelming it was for you guys. The reception, I think, is, and I tweeted this the other day, it's like seeing the reception for Wolfgang Van Halen. It's like just seeing the support and love for like a I don't even know how to, the best way to phrase it. I don't want to say next generation, but someone like, okay, we love the sound of this person, and then like, okay, what's next? Because you, London, you seem to, because there was a lot of Velvet Revolver comments about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's something, and so that's why I didn't really feel like I needed the pigeon like right away. I could see being kind of like, okay, you only heard one song, and we're hearing like all these different ways that you guys are going to go. So how much is done so far? I guess before I ask anything else, like, is there a whole album done, or like how much is finished?
We're not really gonna talk like about that. We have
Okay.
No, we could say that. We could say
I
that.
just want to say like
We
don't
don't-
don't say
don't
when we're gonna
spoil too
drop.
much.
We're gonna
Don't get anyone in trouble.
a
We're gonna have
another single out in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
With
So
a
is
video.
that what? Then let me ask them. London is, and I thought it was funny. Like,
Mhm.
do you like? How do you feel? Like, how do all of you feel that people? There was a lot of Velvet Revolver comparisons from that one song.
Obviously, like that's gonna happen.
I didn't try to do that or anything. It's just like what I hear. Like I don't write songs. I just come up with it on the spot. Like as I like listen, I hear like a instrumental or something for like 30 seconds to a minute, stop it, instantly put it in, and just start recording it by myself. And just like as I go along, I just start coming up with like different things. So like I guess that's just kind of what came to my ear. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't trying to like sound like anything. I guess that's just kind of what like.
Sure.
And my voice sound like that, like for like.
No, his voice could sound completely.
My
different.
voice could sound like completely different, which it does, and that's like a very small part of my voice. That song.
I believe that. I totally believe that, and that's why I totally got where the London was coming from, where you're all coming from with that. And plus, that's nothing. That's a good thing to say, and it's not like one of those.
Thank you.
Whether you're related to someone famous or not, people are so quick to say, oh, this movie is just like this movie, or this band is just like this band. Everything was so positive, and people were excited. Like was that also unexpected? Not just the numbers, but just the reception of just how overwhelmingly positive it's been.
Yeah.
It's been really cool.
No, I'm glad. I mean, like when I started seeing it like get bigger, I was like, dang. I was like, I don't really care, obviously, but like I was like, damn, I hope we don't get.
Yeah, I care a little bit.
Yeah, I care, but like obviously, like I know like it's not a shitty song. I think it's probably one of my least favorite that I've made, surprisingly. But, I still know it's a good song, you know what I mean?
But that also happens a lot too, like when it's always like the person who like writes the melody or whatever. It's like they always, like you always would think it's, oh, I could have done better. But it's like it's kind of our job to be like, you know what, you could have done, sure, anyone could always do better, but that's a fucking good song, and people need to hear that, because it made me feel really fucking excited when I heard it for the first time. It was just like, damn, that's good,
Niko, how much have you grown? Because I remember you saying, back 3 years, which sounds again 3 years ago, you had Slash teach you a lot. And you even said to yourself, like, I'm still honing my sound. I'm sounding a little bit too much like Slash, which is, if he's teaching you, it's not your fault. How have you grown as a guitar player in the last 3 years?
I've gotten a lot better, a lot more chops, a lot more rhythm, and I'm finding different techniques and different sounds to sound completely different. But my main goal as a guitar player is like to be like a chameleon on the song. You know what I mean? And just play what's perfect for the song. You know what I mean? And like for example, like Long Awaited, like was the song like I'm like I don't think any of us are like anti or haters of like any of the bands that are like the dads have had. Like I love Velvet Revolver, I love Guns, I love like I love all these bands as well as a bunch of others. So like putting this song, it's like I had to put a solo that fits the song. You know what I mean? And,
Sure.
I'm not gonna play like I don't know, like Andy Summers or something on this badass song. So like
Yeah, it comes out organically, and that's the way it should. And Niko, you find this funny as well. This was on metalsucks.net. Now, obviously, people are excited because of you guys, London, Roman, and Tye being the son of they've a famous dad, yada yada yada. Well, my dad was a dentist. Sorry, he wasn't. But for Niko, I mean, I'm glad you're just mentioned. I've gotten some listeners.
Me too.
So I feel so bad for Niko.
Actually, yeah, that's good. They even mentioned Niko. Like, yeah,
but this one, I mean, I honestly thought this was a joke because back in I guess when I was 20 or so, right? So this is how long it's been. No beard, long hair. Since I'm Jewish, I'm like, oh, I'm Axl Rosenberg. I want to look like Axl Rose, so I was like, the Axl Rosenberg joke. So there's an Axl Rosenberg though that writes for Metal Sucks, and he said about, I mean, it's nothing bad. Niko Tsangaris, whose father I think I cannot seem to confirm, does or used to co-manage Slash and or Velvet Revolver.
Dude, that's the funniest shit when they just make up shit on
like where did that come from with Chris? I mean, if he's listening somewhere, he's laughing.
Dude, I know.
He's probably like, I wish.
There's stuff out there saying that like I'm the original guitar player for like Snake Pit and stuff.
What?
Yeah, and then I direct Velvet Revolver.
And then there was
like you were fucking like 3.
Yeah.
Just fucking
I know.
it's like Slash is on guitar.
Yeah.
And his brother is playing drums. I'm like, dude, where?
What the
fuck? I mean, I'm just glad you're being mentioned, but I just thought you would get a kick out of that. And I know, London, we had fun that first time because we were talking about certain things, and I'm like, I don't know if it's the same case now since you're a legal guy, which sounds weird out of context, but at the time, your parents had to give permission for you to do the podcast, and I was like, oh my god, Slash knows who I am, and and people are just so quick to jump on like an article and just say, and people question why I would write London Hudson is my guest. Why don't you say Slash's son? And it's the same thing for why don't you say Scott's son or I don't. That's why I introduced you. I haven't said it really until now. Is that? You're Chris's son. I said Chris first thing. I said hi to Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, you should first of all, if you want to learn more about Niko and Chris, you should follow them both on Instagram. If you want to see, shredding in classic guitars, so you want to follow them on Instagram and learn more about them.
Behind the scenes stuff. I shred in my pajamas all the time.
I don't know if that's gonna get you followers or not. Maybe you're late. Is that something? I mean, I get you're all prepared for that. I guess. I know London, you've been doing it for a while. Tye, I mean, you're a seasoned veteran at 16. Roman, does it bother you at this point that I try to do my best as an interviewer, not to respect, not ask you questions that you're like, why would they know that, bother you with questions? Is that something you've experienced a lot? Is that something that's or you just know that's part of the game?
It's part of the game, but eventually, like it becomes like an internal thing with yourself. And I mean, I can relate with like Tye and Noah and like a lot of other people that have figures, parents that I know, but it becomes just a thing where it's like an internal conflict at some point, and then it could like really ruin a lot of people. So once you fucking learn how to deal with it and process it, that's why I've like had to take time and space to fucking come back to music and shit. well, now I have a fucking grasp on it, and I'm able to process and deal with that shit. But if you can't process and you can't deal with that shit, it just destroys you. So
I completely agree, and that's why I said I related a lot to Roman. And I often bring this up. Again, it's a GNR podcast, but anything that fits that 6 degrees of GNR bacon, you know, I kid around that. I mean, it's true. My dad was a dentist. He has since passed. We're not going to go. I don't want to make the route we're going too sad, but it's like, you know, anyone with parents, like I'll just say with my mom, like, do I have the same ticks and weird things as my mom? And I had to take time away. There was time I took away from radio, time I took away from social media. And I always think about, though, when it's anyone famous, it could be an actor, it doesn't have to be you guys specifically. And they talk about like their kids, and it's all like the TMZ stuff. And it's just like, I always think about, they didn't ask for this. If they want to be on a TV show, and if I can understand, maybe they made that choice, like, okay, they have to accept some sort of losing your right to privacy. But when I see kids, it bothers me. It definitely bothers me. I think there's a lot of people out there that are not like that. That are not. So I just want to let you know, just not from personally, but I think that I just want to let you know, there's a lot of people out there that support what you're doing, despite, you know, if you had no, if you're, I'm not gonna say it like this. If all of your fathers were like, I don't know, if all of your fathers were like make believe or something like that, if it doesn't matter, if all of your fathers are plumbers or something like that, I don't think it would matter, because the song reflects that it's a good song. And I think the comments and the reception, it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who, like, where you come from. You either put up or shut up, and you're already putting up. It's only been one song, you know?
Yeah, we're really not different from anybody else who enjoys playing music. So we're like everybody else. So, you know, just because we're the sons of whoever, it doesn't make us different. You know, we're like everybody else who loves playing music.
So, but I at least do have to, because we talk about this, you know, on my podcast. I ask everybody this, you know, so you guys are no exception. Tye, favorite Metallica song?
Favorite Metallica song? Ooh, shoot. There's so many good ones out there. Lately, surprisingly, I've been listening to a lot of Saint Anger.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, but my favorite Metallica song, probably Leper Messiah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Roman, do you have a favorite? You can go either way, STP or Velvet Revolver. Or Wildabouts. I mean, anything, because I think, and if I could say while you're thinking about this, I think that's why so many people, and I'm excited to hear where your voice goes, because just like your dad, I mean, I honestly, I listen to his Christmas album every year, and that's also somebody who sings hard rock. So it's.
we're gonna listen to that, dude. We're gonna listen to that this year.
We know we listen to it when we open up presents.
Oh, really?
That's all. That's really cool. I'm happy to hear that.
I've been MIA for probably the last 2 Christmases, but usually it's Scott Weiland's Christmas at the house.
I love that. I love that.
I love it. I love it. But it's showing the versatility of, you know, of that talent, and I think people already hear that from you. Like, again, like sports, people can see it. They know what's going to translate to the NBA or whatever. Like people, like, I think people hear it. So. If you wouldn't mind, while you're here, do you have a favorite song of your dad's? Like,
no, I don't. I can't think of
Just sing it.
No, I can't think of the one that I'm thinking of right now. I'm thinking of one. I could look at my phone, but I'm just gonna take too long. But my favorite one, I'll tell you what my favorite one as a kid was type thing, because
you say sex type? I'm sorry, I cut out.
Yeah, and I'd always try and get him to play it, even when he was with Velvet Revolver. I think he did sometimes.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And I don't know if I asked you this, London, because we talked about the stories when you were a kid. You were playing what, like your PS Gesundheit. You were playing like your PS whatever, or your Game Boy in the backstage of Velvet Revolver. Isn't that what you used to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nintendo on the DS or the PlayStation 1.
Okay.
PlayStation.
Nice.
Nice. So you were not the drummer for Velvet Revolver at one point either. We can spell that rumor.
No, the director.
Oh, I'm the director I'm the music director, the videos.
Well, you know what, London? Let me ask you this: something that's newer. Have you played the new pinball game? Because I think it's I guess interview the co-designer, not your dad, the other designer for the pinball game, and I was blown away. Do you have any interest?
We have a couple Guns N' Roses machines at the house. I don't
Okay.
know which one's the new one. I've played them all. They're all sick. I don't know which one's from which year.
Okay.
All good. So
All right, fair enough. Niko, I mean, Chris isn't in a band, right? He's not in a band I can ask for.
I mean, I
No,
can
he's
name
not.
songs I like that he wrote, but you probably wouldn't.
I know.
'Cause I want to get to a point where I can ask you what your favorite Suspect 208 song is, but I guess we have to wait.
One they're putting out.
that.
Mhm.
But
I might, yeah. That's one of
my
favorite.
second favorite one is the one we have out right now, Long Awaited.
Dude, I think
Second favorite. Huh?
Love that song.
Do we answer, by the way, if that was supposed to be ironic or if that's just something else? I guess
I
it's a
think it
coincidence.
was not. The name,
definitely
the
not supposed to
name,
be ironic.
yeah, the name. He just recorded it and did it, and it wasn't ironic. I tried to make it ironic by like posting it and
Yeah.
using how I posted it to
But-
make it that way. But
You know, I was like foreshadowing on my page and like I was putting like hashtag Suspect 208 before the band was even started. So I feel like unconsciously somehow that made it Long Awaited. I don't know.
it was
Okay.
I've been waiting. I feel like I've been waiting a long time for something like this to happen.
Yeah.
For something like this.
The
project.
success of it was fucking Long Awaited.
Yeah.
Damn right.
So
Where's
I
our
guess-
fucking check, dude? Where's our
Where's
we
our
haven't gotten our
DistroKid check?
DistroKid.
Well, so, and also I think I skipped over this. When did it start? Because I know we're at the end of 2020, but was
Like-
it, what were the plans going into this year? Were you working on this already?
Has been a month of a band.
Yeah.
I got a gig offer before the band was even started.
And we were just gonna play my music
Yeah.
originally, and then we were like, kind of started putting pieces together. I
Yeah.
didn't even honestly, real shit. I didn't even want to be in a band whatsoever at all.
Yeah.
At fucking all.
Didn't
I was
know
like,
we were-
dude, I do not want to do that shit. Like that just was like,
Huh. Okay.
and then I was like, I thought about it. It started just making more sense.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't listen to any bands really. So it just like,
We could
It's
transform
weird.
it into something fucking completely different. That's why I wouldn't have him force him to listen to what we listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Right
all
on.
like, especially like I like to get him to listen to what I listen to just because it's at least it's pretty good for like some of the rock shit. But like I wouldn't force him to listen to like Aerosmith or Guns or any of that shit.
So I was gonna ask you, London, what are you listening to? Are you listening still the classics?
I listen to like a lot of Queens of the Stone Age, Fuzz, Caius, Fu Manchu, a lot of stoner rock, and then I listen to a lot of hardcore, and then more R&B and rap too, just from his influence from being in the car with him all the time and having him play music and it showing up in my Spotify playlists. So now it's turned into a lot. Like I'm super appreciative of everything that's out there. Like I really appreciate music and don't label shit or try to like. I just don't want to be selfish enough to stick to one thing. Everything's fucking music, and I think it's fucking sick. Like all of it.
I love how it's all coming together organically. You're not trying really and set out to do anything. You're all friends. I think that's the big thing right now. And you're all together in a room. You're all friends. And so, is there any? I mean, plans are limited right now because I'm excited. People are excited. Are you gonna? I can't ask you about shows.
I can actually start talking about that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I can talk about that.
Oh
yeah.
fuck yeah!
'Cause I'm confirmed. So
talk about it.
we will have live streams up from the Viper Room
Nice.
middle of December. That we'll be doing live streams, but our dates are confirmed. Yeah. So that news
You
was coming
confirmed
out.
dates already?
I did. Yeah. Yesterday with Tommy.
That's cool. The Viper Room. That's exciting.
But yeah, it sounds really like they mix it really cool, and you know, it's like I think $10. You pay $10 to watch a really nice fucking mixed concert.
And it's not no like bullshit. We're gonna be talking and communicating. And
Yeah.
having a good
So
time. With
it's actually
everybody.
it's the next best thing, especially because everything's probably gonna be on lockdown around that time. So
Okay.
I think it's actually gonna be really cool.
We'll probably get
super
fed
stoked.
up and throw like a secret party or something.
No,
Is it-
don't.
it's
We're not gonna do that.
I want to do that.
I think we could.
This is good news, though. I think this is good and exciting news for not just I mean, there's not a lot of good news this year, but music in general, rock music in general, and you guys. I'm glad to see Niko and London. You guys playing, having music together. I think it's exciting, Roman, for you to be honestly, singing out there, seeing what you're capable of, your talents. And Tye, I'm really it's awesome. Again, it feels like we've heard your name for a while.
Yeah.
Because you've how old were you when you helped Corn out? How old were you? You were 12?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 12.
Yeah.
It was just the anniversary of when I was bar mitzvahed. So I was so cool at 13. I was like braces, talking like this. And you're touring with Corn. All of you guys are cooler than I'll ever be. So it's very, very cool. I really appreciate all of your time today. And I hope we get to do this again because you guys are going to be a long career ahead of you. I'm really excited to see what's coming and to hear what's coming. I'm really excited to hear about the Viper Room. Are you guys only Suspect 208 on Instagram? Do you have any other social media, anything out there right now?
Nothing other than just the YouTube, the
We're on Spotify, Apple
Music,
Music,
SoundCloud, Tidal.
Okay.
All of them, but no TikTok yet. None of that shit yet.
TikTok. Can you?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Not that shit.
You got okay, because I was about to say you got to help me out with that. Do I need to get on TikTok to get the kids to like me? Okay.
No,
No.
definitely not.
You
I'm
want
not even.
those
I don't
kids.
have TikTok on my phone.
But we gotta start doing TikTok.
I don't
We
know.
could. We
Little
should.
dance
We
routine.
should be doing TikTok. Realistically, it's not the bullshit.
It's just sellout.
To sell out
Yes,
already.
I also-
Lip singing,
now,
pretty
so I
much. It's just
fucking-
lip singing.
Yeah,
It-
I'm not worried about selling out. That's all I'm like.
OnlyFans.
Oh.
Check out our music on OnlyFans.
Oh God.
Premium.
Niko Tsangaris, London Hudson, Roman, Tye Trujillo, Suspect 208. Thank you so much. I can't again. I say it because I'm really excited because I do a Guns N' Roses podcast. London, you don't have to comment. There's not a lot of new music to talk about, so I'm excited to talk about new music in any variety. So thank you for coming on, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
course,
Thank
yeah.
you.
All right. Speaking of which, because since I was going to end the show just like this, so when you can see the next episode, actually, this is going to be the last episode of November. I'm going to Chicago, as we just talked about with London, how there's a new pinball machine. Hopefully, I'll have time to do it. I think I will. I won't be able to get the whole Jersey Jack pinball factory behind the scenes because of COVID. But if all goes according to plan, I can play the pinball machine in the lobby. I was invited. We'll see if it happens. But anyway, so when we see the next episode, when will you hear it? Well, in the words of Axl Rose concerning Chinese democracy, I don't know if soon is the word, but you'll see it.
Yes.